We led Briton Ferry to promotion to the Welsh Premier Division last season in FM24 on tour. The board wants us to record a top half finish at the first time of asking, so tick-tock, it's transfers o'clock. Ben Warman was our first signing. He's primarily a midfielder, but we will likely use him as a backup striker. He's got decent stats for our level. He's had a bit of a journeyman career and last played for Gateshead in the Vanarama National League. Cameron Ismail will provide competition at left back for Lincoln McFadden. He's quick, he's got a good first touch, and he can dribble. So he looks to be a really good signing. He's a former Arsenal prospect. Aled Thomas looks to be a solid option at centre-back. He's well-rounded and can even pass the ball. He joins us having been released by Everton. Jakai Basco Fisher has all the attributes you could want from a winger. I think he'll do a fine job for us. He was also released by Arsenal. Louis Copley will be direct competition on the right wing. Again, he has a lot of the right stats and he's decently quick. Yet another former Arsenal prospect. Dan Casey has the makings of a very good deep-line playmaker. He's got great mentals and a sublime first touch. We just need to get him trained up to play in the defensive midfield position. You'll be shocked to hear we've picked him up after he was released by Arsenal. Blesa Colbira has fantastic physicals, and he should be our first choice ball-winning midfielder this season. No prizes for guessing where he was released from last season. Victor Musa looks to be a good signing up front. He can also play on either wing. He's quick, he can dribble, and he can finish. He's formerly off of Manchester United. Jacob Devaney can play right back, but he will likely be our first choice deep line playmaker. He's got some great attributes, and he's another one we picked up for free after Manchester United released him. Lucas Pitt has good mentals, good physicals, and he can tackle and head. He should do well at centre-back for us. Formerly on the books at Liverpool. Billy Terrell should be our first choice keeper this season. He's 6'3" with decent attributes, and we picked him up after Bournemouth released him. Michael Reindorf should bag some goals for us this season. Good physicals, good technicals, and high work rate. He was formerly at Norwich, but he did do well on loan at Haverfordwest in the Welsh Premier a couple of seasons ago. Ellis Lehane is another quick striker with good finishing, another one who could develop into something really special. He was released by Tottenham. Luca Davis has excellent positioning and exceptional jump and reach, and he will provide strong competition at centre-back. Another former Everton reserve player. That's a lot of good players, plus what we already have at the club. Let's get to the end of August where hopefully I'll have an idea of my strongest starting lineup. We got our league campaign underway against Bangor. Basco Fisher played in Ismail, who did well to get forward from left back to open up the scoring. Devaney thumped this penalty into the top corner to make it 2. Musa showed his finishing prowess to put this one away for our third. We fell asleep at the back and they pulled one back thanks to this goal from Lawson. We worked a really nice corner routine in the 88th minute, with Devaney applying the finish for his second and our fourth. It ended 4-1 on the day. That's a good start. We then faced tough opposition in the form of TNS. Try as we might, we could not find the net in this game. This header from Brad Young in the 61st minute was enough to secure a 1-0 win for them. We had 21 shots in this game, but we just could not find the back of the net. We need to get our new strikers firing. We also progressed in the Nathaniel MG Cup second round, and we managed to pick up wins against Haverfordwest and Colwyn Bay, meaning it was an okay start to the season for us, but clearly we still have some work to do. So as August comes to a close, we did pick up one more signing, and I couldn't resist this one. Gareth Cheeseman joins us from Clantwit Major. Damn you, Cheeseman! He will likely sit on the bench a lot this season, but he does provide good cover on the left wing for us. But what's your strongest lineup? Well, thank you for asking, dear viewer. Let's have a look. We've actually got a very strong team, and rather than have to kind of ship out players or risk making people unhappy, I'm going to try and rotate a lot this season. I'm going to have Team 1 and Team 2. So we're going to alternate them game to game, and hopefully this works and also gives us a bit of an edge in terms of fitness in this division this season. So Team 1 has Billy Terrell in goal, Samuels Smith at right back, Cameron Ismail at left back, with Scott Bailey and Aled Thomas at centre back. Blesa Colbira is a ball-winning midfielder, with Jacob Devaney operating as deep line playmaker. Darren Palmer keeps his spot on the right wing. Basco Fisher starts on the left wing, with Ellis Lehane and Victor Musa up front. Team 2 will have Bradley Foster in goal, Jordan Hamilton at right back, Lincoln McFadden at left back, with Luca Davis and Lucas Pitt at centre back. Rory Powell is the ball-winning midfielder, with Dan Casey operating as the deep line playmaker. Louis Copley will be the right winger, with Gerald Sellers on the left. Michael Reindorf will be up front with either Osman Foyo or Ben Warman. Equally, we could put Foyo on the left instead of Sellers and put Warman up front. We'll see how it goes. So that's a lot of players to keep happy. Let's hope this plan works. We end August in 4th place, and the media think we're good for a 2nd place finish. That'd do nicely for our first season in this division. Into September now, and we hit a nice milestone in our game against Cardiff Met Uni, as I reached 100 games in management. I've got to say, that's absolutely flown by. Let's hope we mark this milestone in style. Devaney hit another rocket of a penalty into the top corner for our first. Devaney then started this move with a free kick and ended it with a nice finish, after being afforded acres of space. Terrell did not deal with the ball well, which allowed them back into the game thanks to this goal from Schmeichel James. Lehane then converted this Ismail cross at the far post to restore our 2-goal cushion, and then it was Reindorf's turn to hit a penalty to make it 4-1 to us on the day. I should celebrate 100 games in management more often. We also had a game against newly promoted Barla. Palmer timed his run to perfection and finished well to put us into the lead. Devaney bagged another penalty, hitting this one low for our second. Lehane headed in this Basco Fisher corner, and it was looking like an easy afternoon's work for us. However, Palmer was on the score sheet again. Unfortunately, this time it was an own goal, as this shot went in off of him. This spurred Barla on as they all too easily got in behind for Hill to score to make it 3-2. They then cut us open with a counter-attack, with Roberts finishing this move to make it 3-3. A disappointing draw, but a fun game of football. We progressed again in the Nathaniel MG Cup third round against Cardiff Drax, and we won our other league game, so overall a good month for us. And the league table, to be fair, is looking positive. We have a 6-point gap already as we get to the end of September. This is looking promising. And the good news keeps on coming, as Win the Chairman has granted permission for me to study for my Continental B licence. I feel like I've been really lucky in this save. In some saves, it takes absolutely forever to get your first coaching badge. Win the Chairman just keeps writing me checks to do it, so thanks, Win. We've got a 2-star reputation currently, and we're getting some half-decent coaching attributes as well. Into October now, and this was a busy month for us with 5 league games and 2 cup games to contend with. The JD Welsh Cup second round saw us take on non-league Llanfair, so you'd expect us to win this one, given that now we're a big bad Welsh Premier Division team and everything. Let's see how we got on. Man, I feel like a Warman got us off to a great start by thundering in this free kick after just 5 minutes. Casey then played in Cheeseman, who scored a nice placed finish. Damn you, Cheeseman! Oh no, wait. That's actually positive for us what he did there. Well done, Cheeseman! The Book of Warman was on hand to capitalise on this lazy header back to the opposition keeper. He reacted quickly to bag our third. Reindorf emphatically smashed this one in for our fourth, and to put the cherry on top of this good performance. I told you we're a big bad Premier Division team now. We also played TNS in the league again as well. Now TNS have actually had a terrible start to the season, and they also beat us earlier in the season, so let's see if we can capitalise on their bad form and avenge our previous defeat. Musa crossed in for Palmer to head this in at the far post. Devaney then made their keeper look foolish with this well-taken penalty. Palmer popped up with another header, assisted by Ismail this time, but it's not all fun and games as this one fell favourably into the path of Lowe, who made no mistakes in finishing it off. Devaney then thumped in a penalty down the middle for our fourth. A well-worked corner routine from them saw Nightingale glance this header in past our keeper. Lowe then set up Davis, who did well to score this one. But thankfully it was too little too late for TNS as we ran out 4-3 winners on the day. We looked really good in this game, and I've got a really good feeling about this season. We also progressed in the Nathaniel MG Cup quarter-final, beating Barla 3-0, and we picked up league wins against Barry and Bangor, whilst we drew with Haverfordwest and Colwyn Bay. All of which means we maintain top spot in the league comfortably, 7 points clear of second place. Interestingly, just 3 points separate third and ninth place in the league table. And off the pitch, we signed another new contract that keeps us here till 2027, and we're now on £250 a week. November saw us go up against second placed Cambrian and Clydach. They pulled the old Teddy Sheringham corner routine to go ahead after 10 minutes. They got their second as Kawamia hit this penalty right into the top corner. We pulled one back as Palmer played in Lehane in the 66th minute, but I'm afraid there was no great comeback on for us, as Oswell hit a beauty of a free kick 3 minutes before the end to make it 3-1 to them. This is only our second loss of the season, but you can't make many mistakes in this league, so let's hope it's not a sign of things to come. So we needed to bounce back in our next game against Cardiff Met Uni. Foyo provided the assist for Cheeseman to open the scoring. Cheeseman then did really well to win the ball back and pick out Reindorf to bag our second. Cheeseman then played in Reindorf again. Reindorf with a sublime finish for this one. We then seemed to switch off at the back for Smith Ferguson to score this one. But their defence must be lactose intolerant as Cheeseman yet again played in Reindorf for our fourth. You make me feel like a natural Warman hit this one, but it took a wicked deflection off their defender, so it goes down as an own goal by Douglas. Hughes fired in through a sea of bodies to get another for them. Basco Fisher hit a peach of a cross, for Lehane to leap up and head in beautifully for an old school goal. Cheeseman actually got a 10 rating in this match. 6-2 it finished. Now that's how you bounce back. Needless to say, I had the last laugh. We win our other league game against Colwyn Bay, and we squeaked past Holywell on penalties in the Welsh Cup third round. We hold on to first place in the league, 4 points clear of second, TNS having the wobble of all wobbles. So December had 4 league games and a cup game in store for us. Let's start with the JD Welsh Cup 4th round match against Connors Quay. And by the way, we're playing in yellow in this game. They went ahead as Olliott crossed in for Carlian to score a free header. This was followed up by Byrne firing in a screamer from distance to put us 2-0 down after just 30 minutes. Copley then played in Raindorf, who scored a close-range effort to pull one back. McFadden played a ball through to Basco Fisher to level the game. I thought Basco Fisher had put us ahead, but the ref ruled this one out for offside. They then went up the other end, and they scored another one from distance, thanks to this effort from Hutchinson. And to add insult to injury, or should that be injury to insult, goalkeeper Bradley Foster managed to sustain a fractured lower arm when collecting this cross, which is obviously not ideal. So that's us down a goalkeeper and crashing out of the JD Welsh Cup 4th round. Absolutely hideous. But we do have a chance for revenge as we play Connors Quay in the league. So hopefully we can do a Hulk Hogan and get our win back, brother. That's a very niche reference, so let me know in the comments if you got that one. Also in this game again, they're in red, we're in yellow, and weirdly red and yellow is the colour of Hulk Hogan's attire. There's layers upon layers to this. But what does it all mean? Is it a coincidence? Yes, it's a coincidence. Let's get to the game. Things got off to a terrible start as Gardiner scored this goal after just 10 minutes. More Than a Warman scored this penalty for us to level the game. Foyo was playing up front in this game, and he timed his run well to put us ahead here. Foyo was then quickest to react to this lazy pass from their keeper for his second. Foyo then secured his 10-minute hat-trick after Copley crossed in low for him to convert this one. Foyo was then on hand again, this time to head in this girl you'll be a Warman soon cross for his 4th goal of the tie, a sensational performance from him. I'm afraid it was bad news then though, as the exact same injury that put Foster out also put our other keeper Billy Terrell out. And I mean the exact same injury. Just watch this. No, this is not a replay of the Foster one. This is Billy Terrell trying to catch a cross from Connors Quay that inexplicably resulted in a broken lower arm. What are they doing, crossing bowling balls in? This is obviously bad news and puts us into something of a goalkeeping crisis, as our 2 first-choice goalkeepers are both out with broken arms. Maybe Hulk Hogan is behind all this. Damn you, Hogan! It was also a crisis for this game as poor old Victor Musa had to drop back to being in goal. Unsurprisingly, they then scored this goal from Gardiner. So we then switched to Basco Fisher in goal. They got another thanks to this long-range effort. So then I put Lehane in goal. Lehane was on hand to watch this last-minute penalty hit the post. All in all, I think we can be happy with a 5-3 win here. So seeing as Connors Quay broke both our goalkeepers' arms, I asked my director of football for a recommendation, and he suggested Rohan Luthra. He's 6'5" and plays regularly for the India national team. He was released by Cardiff last season, but is of a similar level to our other 2 keepers, and the fact he's got 2 non-broken working arms is also a huge plus. We drew against Newtown but won our other games. We currently sit top of the league with a 5-point lead over second place. TNS are still having a shocker by their standards down in 8th, but you have to imagine they'll turn it around before long. Meanwhile, Cardiff Met Uni look like certainties to go down. Into January now and it's full steam ahead. But I hear what you're saying. What about the cup? Well, as you can see, it's massive. But also, coming up, we've got the Nathaniel MG Cup final against Llanswick Major. Cheers. Copley fired us ahead after some scrambling in the area. Foyo did well to hook this one in from just outside the area to double our advantage. Foyo and Raindorf then linked up well for Foyo to score his second and our third, and that was enough for us to lift the cup. It's the second year in a row we've won this one. There's no European qualification as part of it, unfortunately, but hey, it's nice to win things. But hopefully that won't be an issue, as we plan to qualify for Europe via league position. The league has now split and we're in the Championship Conference. We had a big game against TNS at the end of the month. Loose Warman showed great composure to calmly put this one away to put us ahead. Raindorf played a dangerous ball across the face of goal, and Lehane was there to apply the finish. A nice, clean 2-0 win. So let's look at this league table. And indeed, we have confirmed European qualification. We're 11 points clear with just 7 games to go. This would take the bottle job of all bottle jobs to mess up from here. We also had to say farewell to Gerald Sellers, as he's had limited playing time this season, and he wanted to leave. He was fantastic for us in our promotion season last year, and we wish him well for the future. So just quickly want to say, if you've watched this far into the video, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. If you're enjoying the video at all, please do leave a like. It really helps out. We're a tiny channel here at the moment, but hopefully one day we can grow to be as big as this oversized Sports Direct mug. And if you do want to see more episodes in future, consider subscribing so you can see when they come out. Alright, back to the video. And I know it's a bit of an anticlimax, but we won the league in February. And to be honest, we never really looked like losing it, as evidenced in our game against Cambrian and Clydach. Basco Fisher played in Darren Palmer, who smashed this one in from close range. Palmer then played in Lehane, who clinically finished this to make it 2. Palmer then used his immense jumping reach to head in at the far post to make it 3-0 to us. Not even a consolation goal from Parry was enough to dampen our mood. Into March, and I'm happy to say we got our Continental B licence. That, combined with winning the Welsh Premier Division, should hopefully look great on our CV to help us with future jobs. We ended the season with only 1 win in 4, but I think we could be forgiven, seeing as we had such a strong season. We finished top of the league, clear of second place by a huge 15 points. I knew this team would be good enough to challenge, but I didn't think we'd be winning the league by such a gap already. So we got our budgets for next season. Our wage budget's going to be $8,500, and our transfer budget is $55,200, which should see us able to strengthen this team even further, and maybe if we stay another season we could even try and get to the league stage of a European competition and really help set this team up for the long term before we leave. In the end of season review, Michael Reindorf deservedly got signing of the season, as well as young player of the season. He also finished as our top scorer with 18 goals and just 20 starts. If you're wondering why he's only got 20 starts, remember I'm constantly rotating the lineups. And the fans player of the season went to J.K. Basco Fisher, who got most assists. So we know Reindorf was top scorer, but Foyo also did great, getting 15 goals from just 20 starts, with Lehane chipping in with 13 of his own. The goals and assists were pretty well shared around, which I think speaks to the overall quality of our squad here. So I think it's only right we have another season as champions, try and get a bit of a flavour for Europe, put some money in the bank for this team before we then move on to manage a new team elsewhere. But no matter what, at the end of next season, we will be looking for a new job. And hopefully we'll get the Continental A licence before we leave here. That'd be great. So thanks again for watching, really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Say hello in the comments and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.